Please tell me I'm cute in real life. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Sad Girl Book Club, where we're all just feminists in progress. The hardest / easiest part of making a channel was coming up with a channel name. History of mental illness, check. Angry at the patriarchy, check. Reading as a coping mechanism, check, check. How about we call it Sad Girl Book Club? The first book we'll be talking about was very easy to pick because I'm currently reading it, but also because it has lots to say about identity, performance of identity, and social media. Very current. I'm talking about Gia Tolentino's new book of essays called Trick Mirror. As you can see here, I am one essay away from finishing the book. Here are the specs. Tolentino is a staff writer at The New Yorker and has previously worked for The Hairpin and Jezebel. Her collection of essays, Trick Mirror, was published by Random House in August of 2019 and became a New York Times bestseller. Trick Mirror is kind of the it book of the moment, and this is really interesting to me because it deals a lot with social media theory, which isn't necessarily the sexiest topic, but what Tolentino does is she interweaves social media theory with feminism, capitalism, and politics, and this is why I think people are latching on so hard. In fact, in a review of the book by the Sydney Morning Herald, Katie McLeod writes, "In much of her writing, Tolentino casts a critical eye over capitalism and market-friendly feminism, while acknowledging her collusion in both of these. We're all dealing with the commodification of pretty much everything, maybe most notably the self. So I feel like we can't talk about this book without first talking about taste performance. I would define taste performance as the online curation and presentation of your identity, style, and interests, aka the way we define ourselves online through stuff." Now, this is nothing new. We've always performed taste. For example, some like to brag that they went to the opera, while others like to brag that they'd never be caught dead at the opera. Both comments are establishing each person's taste and signaling to those around them what kind of person that they are. But the methods of how we perform our identity through taste, now they've changed a lot with the rise of the internet and social media. This concept of taste performance is peppered throughout Trick Mirror, but to keep this video under 30 minutes, I'm going to be focusing on the third essay of the book, called Always Be Optimizing. So what can we learn about taste performance from Gia Tolentino's essay? Here are my 3 takeaways. Number 1, taste performance on social media is the intersection between capitalism and identity. Tolentino writes that packaging and broadcasting your image is a readily monetizable skill. You're able to brand yourself through the way you present yourself, the places you go, and the stuff that you buy. If you're thinking of Instagram influencers, you're on the right track. Let's use them as an example. An influencer uses their taste performance to show how cool, pretty, or talented they are. This gives them what's called cultural capital. Once someone generates enough cultural capital, this can turn into social capital. So the cooler stuff that you post, the more people want to follow you. And then the influencer can leverage their cultural capital and social capital into economic capital, meaning money or opportunities. Thus, how your identity as taste performance can become commodified. Number 2, women in particular are pressured to perform an idealized and optimized identity both online and in real life. Tolentino writes that women are trapped at the intersection of patriarchy and capitalism. The pressures of beauty and purity and optimization have been placed on women for basically forever. In the essay, Tolentino talks about sweet green salads and Pure Barre method and athleisure, things that she actively consumes. These are also things that are marketed towards women to make them good or healthy or beautiful, resulting in what Tolentino calls the ideal woman. To quote the essay, "The ideal woman looks beautiful, happy, carefree, and perfectly competent. But is she really?" This brings us to our third and final takeaway. Number 3, the internet and social media make taste performance inescapable. Tolentino points out that to look a certain way and to actually be that way are 2 different concepts. Social media codifies this problem, making us feel like we have to be our best, most optimized, coolest self all the time, because that's our most valuable self. She writes, "If you can't escape the market, why stop working on its terms?" And as we've noted before, there are rewards for adhering to those terms. Whew! I feel like we just got a little heavy, a little too early, but maybe that's okay. Welcome to Sad Girl Book Club. How do you feel about Tate's performance in social media? Have you read Trick Mirror by G.A. Tolentino? Comment below! I'd love to hear what you're thinking. And as always, like and subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye!